13 inches, and 11 inches. Yep, the RDX is going to be longer, wider, and higher versus the all-new, new to Acura's lineup, the 2025 Acura ADX. Here we have a 2025 Acura RDX, and we're going to bring this comparison to you guys here at Vagabond Builds with James and Sandu. So like and subscribe. Let's dive in and not waste your guys' time. So let's talk about the little brother, the subcompact SUV that's new to Acura's lineup. Well, the standard powertrain on all three trims. You get a base ADX trim, the middle brother A-Spec, and this being the highest trim in the A-Spec Advance. Comes with a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, dual overhead cam, paired together with a CVT, continuously variable transmission, pushing 190 horsepower with 179 pounds-feet of torque. That might sound familiar. That's because the ADX shares platform with the Acura Integra. Now, MPG numbers on the front-wheel drive is 26 city, 31 highway. If you get the all-wheel drive option, you get 25 city and 30 highway. So you lose 1 mile per gallon because of that. If we come over to the RDX, standard powertrain, 2.0 liter, 4-cylinder turbocharged engine paired together with a 10-speed automatic transmission. So I'm a fan of this powertrain more than the ADX, I have to say, for Vagabond advice. Coming in at 272 horsepower with 280 pounds-feet of torque. Okay, so you're going to have a whole lot more oomph to your step. One thing that kind of saddens me about the ADX is because the Integra itself is up-tuned on that engine, an extra 10 horsepower, which the ADX is heavier than the Integra. I probably would have liked to see a little bit more tune on that 1.5 liter, okay? The MPG numbers on this is going to be a 21 city and a 26 highway. So you're losing about 5 gallons of MPG because of that 2.0 liter turbocharged. Now let's talk some dimensions, okay? So we go ahead and compare everything right off the bat. The RDX is the bigger brother, okay? That's coming in at 187 inches of length, which is 1 inch longer than the ADX, as well as 2 inches wider, coming in at 75 inches, and as well as 2 inches taller, coming in at 66 inches. And if you guys do the math, that makes this 73 inches wide and 64 inches tall, okay? Now let's go ahead and bring you guys the front ends. This is the new ADX front end. We do not have the dual eye headlights. This is one projector LED. We left the hazards and the daytime running lights on. The corporate Acura front end, you have the option of an illuminated Acura emblem. This is the A-Spec Advance, so this has a 360 panoramic camera, dropping down, bumper sensors going across, as well as because of the A-Spec, you get the LED fog lights, high gloss black trim, and the sporty elements. Here over to the RDX, this is also A-Spec Advance, top trim, 1 of 5, okay? I mentioned the 3 trims on the ADX. The 5 trims on the RDX is going to be just the RDX base. You're going to get a tech package, second trim up, then you get the A-Spec, which is the middle brother, then you get the Advanced package, and then you get the A-Spec Advance, okay? Also, corporate Acura front end, we got a bigger emblem here on the center of that grille, 360 panoramic camera, bumper sensors going across. Well, look at the headlight. You get the dual eye LED headlights. Daytime running lights are on the bottom instead of the top versus compared to the ADX, and we left the hazards on so you guys get an idea of what that looks like. Difference in bezel here, as well as a big difference in the dual eye LED lights. I have to say I like the dual eyes a whole lot better just than the single. But again, for an extra $10,000, yes, you're going to start liking a lot more things on the RDX. Because A-Spec, you're going to get the more aggressive, sportier elements, as well as the blacked out high gloss trims. Moving over to the side, everyone. Rims, you're going to have a 19-inch tire Continental Pro Contact on the ADX, coming in at a 235/45/19. Suspension system is the front shock strut McPherson suspension. Here over on the RDX, you got a 255/45/20, so you get a 1 inch on that, a Goodyear Eagle tire itself. Now remember, lower trims will have different rims along with different tires. Suspension system on the RDX is the standard, also shock spring strut suspension. A-Spec in the chrome, A-Spec in the black. We have wheel well trim here on the ADX to where on the RDX, no wheel well trim. I would take the no wheel well trim, but again, it does add some character to the car. Side mirrors, we got a bigger side mirror here on the RDX. Look at the integrated blinker lighting. Compared to the integrated blinker lighting, kind of cut in half. High gloss black on top, matte gray on the bottom on the ADX. This is black and black, and you get 360 panoramic camera on the bottom of both. High gloss black trim around the windows and matte black plastic on the bottom of the windows. We get the smart access keyless fob entry. Dropping down, this is where you're going to see some difference, is the trim. No trim on the ADX, where you get trim on the RDX. And lower than that, we just have a bigger rocker panel on the RDX. Let's talk some wheelbase. Wheelbase is 104.5 inches on the ADX, 108.3 on the RDX. Moving forward, we're going to get panoramic glasses on the top of both. Again, if you go lower trims, you'll get rid of those glasses. Coming over to the rear, this is where I'm going to say a lot separates it from me. If we come over, we have no gas caps on both of them, ADX and RDX. This is where you're going to see the big difference, okay? Big difference on the ADX, the new sporty look, I have to say, reminds me of the Honda HR-V, kind of the BMW X1, its competitor. But you get spoiler and that very nice sporty spoiler, integrated brake light, privacy glass wiper. We have the spoiler here in the center, right under that wiper or a lip, whatever you want to call that. Acura emblem dropping down, backup camera, A-Spec emblem in the black, as well as ADX all-wheel drive. Now, this is one thing I would like to mention. The ADX doesn't have the SH, the super handling all-wheel drive, compared to the RDX. You have the SH all-wheel drive, the super handling, which gives you a bit better handling on the drive. Tail lights do come LED hazards, LED tail lights, as well as LED backup lights. Lower bumper fascia, the high gloss black, bumper sensors going across, parking reflectors, dual tips, one on each side, and a rear diffuser in the high gloss black. Come over to the RDX. A little bit more boring, kind of rounded off, I have to say. So I do like the rear end on the ADX a whole lot better compared to the RDX. Up top, spoiler, a little bit less aggressive look. Integrated brake light, privacy glass wiper. Taillights do come in the LEDs, but the halogens are on the hazards. So on the ADX, you get, look at the design on the ADX. Way better, okay? So I have to say, taillights are better on the ADX. A-Spec SH all-wheel drive. Dropping down, bumper fascia, bumper sensors going across. One tip exhaust on each side, making it a dual tip in the rear. Some high gloss black trim and that diffuser in that urban gray metallic. So both exterior paint colors are the new to 2025 urban gray metallics. But again, guys, get a load of the rear ends. Now let's shoot over to the cargo areas. Both have the hands-free option because of the A-Spec Advance. Remember, lower trims won't get that option. So we're going to go ahead and talk cargo for both. And another reason why we brought this 16-foot Milwaukee measuring tape is because we want to start answering our comments, all right? Let's remove this box and start talking. 6 more cubic feet of space on top of the ADX. This is coming in at 30 cubic feet of space with the second row seat up. Second row seat down, you're getting a whopping 60 cubic feet of space, which is about 5 more cubic feet of space on the RDX, okay? On the right, on the left, we have some cubby room there in here. We got the handles to drop those seats, which makes it a whole lot more convenient. All right, let's go ahead and measure. Remember, 60 cubic feet of space, but we want to show you guys the length because a lot of our viewers were asking about this, and we're going to start doing this in all our videos. 74 inches at the starting of that plastic panel from the back of the front seat, depending, again, that's going to range of how short and tall you are on those front seats. And if we go ahead and measure here, about 54, 55 inches, which is about 4 feet, 6 inches. And then from wheel well to wheel well, you're getting about 3 feet, 4 inches, 40 inches there, okay? Now let's go ahead and shoot over to the ADX. ADX, second row seat up, 24 cubic feet of space. Second row seat down, about 55 cubic feet of space. So 6 feet less with the seats up. 5 feet cubic feet of space less with the second row seat down, and you don't have those handles. All right, let's do second let's do the back of that seat. Now, 69 inches, so it's about, again, 5 inches less. Remember, all depends about the position of that front seat. 40 to 41 inches between wheel wells. Then we got about 51 inches all the way over to the rear, okay? Hopefully that helps you guys. Let's go ahead and place these back. Now that we're done talking about powertrain options, trims, and showing you guys the different looks on the ADX and RDX, let's shoot over to the interior. Before we continue with this video, if you find yourself in the Sacramento, California, or the greater Sacramento area like Rockland, Roseville, Elk Grove, and many other cities, if you need a passenger van rental for the friends and the family for the fun activities such as San Francisco, Napa Valley Wine Country, Yosemite, Lake Tahoe, Yellowstone, and many other places, use the link in the description below and rent from Vagabond Van Rentals. We also deliver. Thanks, guys. Let's go ahead and continue with this video. Continuing with the interior look now of both vehicles, I'm sitting in the ADX, which resembles the interior much to the Acura Integra. Let's go ahead and give you a quick overlook. Now, we do have the red stitching, okay, with the leather wrap perforation. That is because of the A-Spec Advanced package, sorry, A-Spec Advanced. You do have the heated and ventilated seats, along with the 9-inch standard infotainment screen inside the ADX. This is standard across all three trims. Dropping down, we have the dual climate controls, heated seats, and ventilated seats there in the corner. This does resemble a lot like the Acura Integra. Lower than that, we got the two USB-C plugins, 12-volt outlet, and a wireless charging pad with one cup holder here and one cup holder here. Okay. Shift lever like the Acura Integra. We got the individual drive modes, up to 4 different drive modes plus the individual, making it a total of 5. Get normal, comfort, snow, and then we go back to sport. Okay. Brake button here, as well as hill descent, auto engine off, and then the brake hold button. Over to the A-Spec steering wheel. This does come perforated wrap leather, flat bottom because of the A-Spec, but it does come heated because of the advanced package. We have the regen paddles behind for that CVT. Lever there for the windshield wipers, and you do have rain sensing wipers because of the A-Spec and advanced, as well as the lighting system on the left-hand side. Want to show you guys a cool feature. You press that button there, and you get the 360 panoramic camera with different angles on this ADX. Close that. Standard 10-inch full digital cluster does resemble the Acura Integra as well. We have the temperature gauge on the left and then your gas gauge on the right. Now, the gallon gas tank size, I did want to mention this and I forgot to mention it on the outside, but with the ADX, you're getting a gallon gas tank size of 14 gallons, and in the RDX, you're getting 17 gallons. So you have a difference of 3 gallons on the gas tank sizes. Moving over to the door panel, driver door panel, more leather wrap, red stitching, fox suede, more leather wrap. We got a textured black gloss inlay, memory seating, controls to your window switches, and your side mirrors, and those side mirrors do come automatic foldable. That is because of the packages, okay? On the left-hand side of the manual steering column, we got 2 buttons. We got a whole lot more going on in the RDX here as well, okay? So we're done with the first row. Let's go ahead and shoot over to the second row and then jump inside the RDX. Second row seating in the ADX. I have to mention, guys, so legroom and the front seats of both vehicles are pretty much similar. 42 inches with regards to front legroom, and then 38 inches here in the rear, okay? To put things into perspective for you guys, I'm about 6 feet 2 inches, so I'm a pretty tall guy. Legroom is there. Headroom is completely there. Up top, your reading lights there in the center. We have the fox suede leather wrap, armrest, cup holders, 1 pocket on the back of the passenger front seat. We have the vents for your air, USB-C plugins. Well, the RDX does get second row heated seats because of their top package as well, okay? Another thing to mention is you have the panoramic glass. This comes on the top trim. You don't get the option in the lower trims of the ADX. And this MSRP price tag is coming in at $44,000. With destination charge, $45 and some change. Now that we're done showing you guys the quick look of ADX, now let's compare it over to the RDX. Now continuing with the RDX, I have to mention some things right off the bat, guys. So MSRP tag on this is coming in at around $55,000. So you're talking about a $10,000 price difference with regards to the ADX versus the RDX in the top trims. Now, some things I have to mention is that in the top trim of the RDX, you don't get the Google built in. The ADX, I didn't show you guys, but you get the Google built-in system with the Google Maps and the Google Play Store and whatnot. Both ADX and RDX does come Apple CarPlay, Android Auto for the tech, and also Bluetooth. That's for connecting your phone and things of that sort. Just so some food for thought as well. Now let's look at the A-Spec interior of the RDX. Starting with the dashboard, we have some suede, Fox suede. Again, designed hyper silver to where on the ADX we had that high gloss black textured trim. The red leather perforated stitching. No suede on the seats. I do have to say, stepping inside the RDX, it does smell more like a leather-wrapped car than the ADX, okay? Coming over to the center console, a lot of differences, kind of has that older look. We're looking for a refresh on these RDX, and that screen is not touch, okay? So you have to use this little touch-sensitive pad here. And let's go back and go home, and I'll show you guys how to use it. This is the interface. You got the Acura Link, built-in Alexa. The ADX does have that as well, so the built-in Alexa, okay? Wanted to mention that too. Series XM, then we come over here to your app list. Now, controls to the temperatures, this is what it looks like. The hard buttons, we have heated and ventilated seats in the RDX. Both do come. Now, remember, this is the older look where the ADX has that Acura Integra like drive mode knob there, and you're going to see it 4, so pretty much the same 4 as the ADX. Lower than that, we have the toggle switch buttons. I kind of like this better than the shift lever. It's just a little bit more simple and cleaner use. Over to the touch-sensitive pad, wireless charging pad here instead of there in the front as you saw in the ADX. Cup holders are together. USB-A plug-in with some center console area. We do have a bridge here, okay, with some USB-C plug-ins and a 12-volt outlet, okay? Over to the clusters, we're going to see another big difference. We still have those manual gauges there where the ADX is full digital. Here in the RDX, you got the digital only there in the center, and you could go ahead and mess with that center card, showing your infotainment, info cards, okay? Heads-up display, you don't get that in the ADX. I probably would have liked to see it at a $44,000 price tag in the ADX that they would actually put a heads-up display, and I get it. It's a subcompact SUV, so you're not going to look for all the bells and whistles, but again, at $44K, probably would like to see a heads-up display. A-Spec steering, flat bottom, kind of resembles each other with the perforation. Have a little bit of different design on that spoke. Then you can control your tech here on the right with your crash warnings and your lane departure assist and cruise control. Here on the left, you control the heated steering wheel as well as your media system. Paddle shifters for the 10-speed automatic transmission. We have the lighting system here on the left and the lighting system, the windshield wiper on the right with the same type of button for the 360 panoramic camera. And I have to say, I like the interface to the ADX a whole lot better than the RDX, okay? Let's shoot over to the door panel. A lot of difference on the door panel, okay? You got some suede on the door panel like you did on the dashboard, but you have an ELS studio system to where the ADX has the Bang & Olufsen, where the RDX comes with the ELS, okay? The armrest does kind of angle down, control switches to your windows, side mirrors, and both ADX and RDX have automatic foldable side mirrors. On the left-hand side of the manual steering column, we have a whole lot more buttons, like your windshield heater button, parking sensors, and all that good stuff, traction control, brake hold. And this is where your parking brake button is. I like the parking brake button area on the ADX better than the RDX. It's just a little bit more convenient when it's there on the center console. Up top, panoramic glass, tilt and slide moonroof option, kind of resembles each other. And then, I didn't mention this, but both get a frameless rear view mirror, and the RDX have the integration of garage door openings, okay? ADX doesn't have that. Coming over to the second row seating of the RDX, and now I'm gonna drop that MSRP sticker. Now, second row seating, remember, legroom is pretty much similar to the ADX. 42 inches in the front, 38 inches in the back. I'm 6 feet 2 inches, the legroom is there. Headroom is completely there. We still have the same leather wrap perforation in the back. This is where you see a little bit of difference where RDX keeps the perforation in the back to where the ADX, you have no perforation, so they simplify the back bench. Armrest, cup holders. In front, we got hardback on those front seats with 2 pockets. So this is a plus on the RDX. The vents, USB-Cs, and the heated seats on the back bench. That's how you're going to control that. Now here's the MSRP sticker so you guys get an idea of what it looks like. Hopefully you guys enjoy this list, enjoy this video. Check out our in-depth single review videos with regards to the ADX. Finishing off with this video, the panoramic glass to the backrest, a whole lot bigger, and your reading lights are here on the side instead of here in the center. Now we're done. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe to our channel, and God bless you.